there, Kelly here from Body Fit Solutions. I wanted to talk a little bit more about knee pain. If you saw my previous video, we talked really about how pain can come about and some of the first things that you can do to help with certain levels of knee pain. And the first thing was making sure we do some myofascial release to release tension around the hips, around the knee area, and also around the lower leg. So by releasing that tension, we start to find more freedom in our movement, and then we're not holding on to the wrong muscles when we go to walk. The second stage is stability. Now, stability can come from our feet, and actually our feet play a big role in what happens to our knees. So let's, for instance, say that our feet are slightly rolled in, what we call pronated feet, and there's a lacking of an arch support, then this can influence how the orientation of the knees and the upper legs. Equally so, if I'm rolling out onto the outer parts of the foot, then that might start putting pressure on the outer parts of the knee. So by learning to kind of balance ourselves in the middle of our feet is really important. So let's just do a little simple foot exercise. So what I want you to do is to allow yourself to rock forward and back towards the heels and towards the toes. So bringing your weight back where you can wiggle your toes and bringing your weight forward almost to the point where you can lift your heels. So they just feel a little bit lighter. And I want you to notice what's happening around your knees. So is there a change in tension? Do you feel some certain muscles maybe at the front of your body kicking on when you go forward? And maybe some muscles at the back of your body kicking on as you go back. So what the muscles and actually the deeper receptors of our body are interpreting is, are we going to fall over? So if we go back here and we go too far, these muscles at the back are going to go, no, don't fall over. And if we go forward too much, then these muscles are going to go, whoa. So can we find a balance in the middle? And so if you can look at yourself in the mirror and just feel, are you in the center of your heels and your toes, right over the arches of your feet? And then what happens to the leg bones and the pelvis when you come and arrive there? So what we want to see is that actually the pelvis isn't forward of the center of the feet. We kind of want the pelvis right in the middle. So if we were to draw a line from the ankle bone through the knee bone and through the hip bone, then we would be nicely aligned here. And equally so, we would come up so we were aligned with the shoulder joint and then with the ear. And this is called our standing posture or our best alignment. What often happens is if our weight is more forward, we tend to hyperextend the knees. So we start bringing the back of the knees too far back, and that puts a lot of pressure on the joint. So actually just finding your balance over your feet can actually release some tension in your knees, especially then when we're standing. And I see a lot of clients who are passively standing with the back of the knees kind of behind them. So almost they can't feel their knees. So what I say to people when we get that ideal posture and we're standing over the center of the feet is, can we feel our knees? Are they tense? Are they pushing into the back, or are they nice and soft? Is there space? So we want to feel that. Now, if our ankles are rolled in or rolled out, can we just do a little moment of rolling them in and out? Because maybe we're not sure where they are. So I'm rolling into the inner arch and then rolling out to the outer arch. And rolling into the inner arch and then to the outer arch. And can we find a middle place where we can feel our big toe pad and we can feel the edges of the feet on the outside and then our heel? So just feel that for a moment. Now what you might find is that actually you've not done any releasing or work through your feet, and you never even thought about your feet. You maybe even never thought about what shoe wear you were wearing. Of course, we know that if we wear maybe high heels all the time or big heavy steel boots, this probably doesn't serve our feet. But did we know that most shoes that we wear now and are commercially made, even trainers, are actually not supporting the proper mechanics of the feet? So what we want to have is minimal footwear, so that our feet are not only able to bend really well, but actually to feel the floor. If we have too much cushioning, what happens is we don't have the natural shock absorbing going through our feet, and so the next shock absorbing center is our knee joint. So we want to look for shoes that can bend in half and twist. So have a look at your trainers and the things that maybe you run or walk in, even hiking boots that we wear for so-called support, but actually they don't even bend at the toe joint, which is super important so that we can roll through the feet really well. And we want to feel the ground when we roll through the feet. Okay, so our foot mechanics are pretty important. Now, if you've got a tennis ball or a hard maybe dog toy at home or one of these massage balls, don't do the ones that have spikies. And what you can do is massage under your feet. So if we put the ball here, and we can do a little bit of a little gentle squash release. Now, if you've not done anything on your feet ever before, and maybe you're imagining walking on a pebbly beach, and you remember that feeling of being very sore, this might have the same kind of feeling. But if you start with a softer ball, maybe start with a tennis ball, and work your way up to a more harder surface, what you're doing is you're hydrating the tissue underneath your foot. If you've suffered with plantar fasciitis or anything like that, your fascia has become irritated and tight and hard. So what we're doing is just hydrating that so that then it can absorb the floor a little bit more. And when it starts to absorb the floor, the knee is not going to take so much of the load. So we do a little bit of squash release underneath the foot from the top of the foot all the way down to the heel. And you would do that maybe for about 2 minutes on each side. And then I want you to finally do a little practice and see yourself in the mirror. How does it look when you roll up onto the balls of your feet? So what we often see is people rolling to the outer edge of the foot instead of really being in the middle of your feet, and then roll back down. So do you roll up through your big toe so that you almost feel your baby toes lifting, or do you feel like all your weight goes to the baby toe side? Use a wall, use a chair, and try and get really 5 to 10 of these little toe bridges where you're rolling up onto the balls of the feet, rolling gently down, but you're really feeling the big toe is taking the weight. You might even want to put a little pillow between your ankles if you're finding you keep rolling out, or just don't go so high. And those are a few little things that I would recommend to start to build some awareness and stability coming from the feet. And then next video, I'm going to talk a little bit about balance and stability around the joints using our hips, using our knees, and using our ankles, and how we can find places of balance that then really support the knee joint. So I look forward to seeing you again. Like or subscribe to our channel, please, and you will get more notifications on all the videos that we do. Look forward to any knee workshops. Just check the description below. I do regular workshops on knee health, back health, and shoulder health. So just check the link below and you can contact me for any upcoming workshops. Many thanks.